Everyone, today comparing with books, magazines, comics or small readers, we will see in this video if it's comfortable or not to read and take notes in a bed or a sofa in a reclining position with a 10.3-inch device as the remarkable 2, the ONYX BOOX Note Air or the ONYX BOOX Note 3. The first book is a small pocket book of about 100 pages. Its weight is about 160 grams. On my sofa, no difficulty, I can hold it with one hand for a very long time. I still need the second hand to turn each page. It's very comfortable. I can even rest it on my belly to change hands if I want. The second book is a little bigger, 500 pages, also a little heavier, almost 300 grams. But once again, I can read it comfortably in the air for quite a long time by holding it with both hands. I can also, under certain conditions, hold it with only one hand, either in the air or by placing it on my body. A magazine like this one, also light, 180 grams, so quite comparable to the small pocket book. No problem of comfort when reading with one hand, two hands held up or down on my body. We are now moving on the larger and classic book format, 500 pages, a little over 700 grams. Here it's almost impossible to hold it in the air for long. Even with both hands, the weight is too heavy. For more comfort, I have to put it on me, and then it becomes comfortable in the long run. And the last test with paper format, here a large format comic book of about 50 pages, 570 grams. Clearly not possible to hold with one hand, I have to put it on me, including to turn the page. Here I really need both hands. Can lift it up in the air from time to time, but not for a long reading time. Okay, now let's see what it looks like with a small e-reader. So a device very dedicated for reading, designed for the use we are talking about today. More or less 210 grams for this Kobo Aura H2O. Of course it is light and very comfortable. You can easily use it with one hand, hold it in the air. There is an integrated light, and this e-reader is waterproof and so can be used in the bathroom, at the pool or at the beach without any risk. Of course, the limit is here a little small screen of 6.8 inches and also very limited annotation capabilities. I have about the same experience with an older e-reader like my Sony PRS T2, which is an almost 9 years old, 6 inches, here 219 grams with is a folio integrating a LED reading light. Still today a very good product that can be used with one hand, two hands, a great autonomy, and a screen that is obviously a bit small compared to our 10.3 inches note takers. This brings us to our devices. First, the remarkable 2, it's a 400 grams naked tablet. We will add 20 grams more if we want to use with the Marker Plus. And another 190 grams if we want to use it with here the Polymer Wave book folio. This makes a total of 610 grams. For me, in any case, without the folio, it remains largely usable and comfortable, pleasant for reading. The magnetic attachment is a real positive point since we always have the stylus at hand, which allows to take notes from time to time without moving. Putting it down on my body, I can change pages with only one hand. The screen is large and comfortable, but I don't have the possibility to switch to landscape mode if I want to have 2 pages displayed at the same time. I can annotate my book or my PDF very easily. By adding the book folio, we add almost 200 grams. We are at a total of 610 grams. It remains lower than the standard books, which was 700 grams, but we lose a lot in comfort. I can hold it with both hands in the air, but finally the most practical is to flip the case completely. A folio not really useful. Next, test with the ONYX BOOX Note 3. 383 grams is the lightest 10.3-inch note taker on the market. We had only 7 grams with a round stylus. So without cover and in landscape position, a slightly better comfort than with the Remarkable 2 in my opinion. You can use it in the air or put it on yourself. The mobile menu bar allows you to use it with only one hand to turn pages. And contrary to the Remarkable 2, we have here natively an option to switch to landscape mode with a split screen that allows you to display 2 pages on the screen. You can have 2 pages of the same document or another page to take notes, for example. Because, of course, the Note 3 is not only an e-reader, but also a note taker, so you can use the stylus in order to annotate or draw in any EPUB book or PDF document you are reading. The problem here with the stylus is that I have no place to store it if I don't use it. I don't have a case here, so the Note 3 is still light and easy to handle, but a case could have had a loop in which I could have stored my pen. As on the Remarkable, the standard ONYX cases for Note 3 add about 180 grams. But even without a box, I can, by raising my knees, put down the Note 3 and continue reading without even having to use my hands. And of course, the big advantage of ONYX products is that for a similar weight to competing products, they have a fully configurable illuminated. And of course, the big advantage of ONYX products is that for a similar weight to competing products, they have a screen front light functionalities, enables one to use the device in the dark. Finally, with the ONYX BOOX Note Air, which is in my case is glued to the original flip cover, almost 600 grams, which is slightly exceeded if you add the stylus, but which we will find for me a combined experience, a mix between the 2 previous devices. The flip cover, which in portrait mode doesn't bring anything and makes the whole thing heavier. The magnetic pen, which has a real interest to store the pen when you don't need it. A total weight, of course, a little heavy, but still acceptable. The ability to turn the pages with only one hand. But a unique feature of the Note Air is its gyroscope, which allows to switch to landscape mode automatically. Be just aware that this does not split the screen automatically, but you still have the menu if you want to do that. Of course, you have the same annotation capabilities and possibilities that we have seen with the Note 3. And here too, of course, for a weight similar to that of the Remarkable 2, the possibility to light the screen with different day and night modes, so as not to damage your eyes, exactly as on the Note 3. And finally, a very interesting feature of the book folio is the possibility to make it an inclinated support. This allows you to put your device on yourself and not even hold it with your hands. So finally, is it comfortable to read in your sofa or in your bed with your 10.3 ink device? Of course, yes, it is. But the degree of comfort is very dependent on the total weight you have in your hands, the form factor, but also the technical possibilities of your device. For me, below 300 grams, you are in a very comfortable zone where you can read with one hand and without having to put down your book on your device. This is okay for small pocket book or dedicated e-reader under around 8 inches. Between 300 and 500 grams, we find the 10.3 inch note takers, but without the case. You can still read with one hand, but over time you will have to put the device or the book on yourself or on a support. And beyond 500 grams, so for the 10.3 inches device with the folio, the case, it's impossible for me without support to use only one hand, nor to need a support to read. But don't worry, because that's what happens now if you read standard books or big comic books. But with a note taker, you have a lot more features. That's my conclusion for this funny and a little less technical than usual video. If you have liked it, please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and see you for the next one.